Good morning, everybody. Bonjour. Neshi Lokat's here, and you are on the Star Nation's organization main fan page, which is all about the live stream shows and the magazine and the publishing, you know, everything Star Nation's. It's another beautiful morning here in Tomah, Wisconsin on Tuesday, May 7th, I think the date is. I should probably have looked beforehand, huh? Yeah, we got another sunny day. Yay. I'm not complaining one little bit. You know, we have had some thunderstorms, but the one thing that I noticed most is that the garden plants are just really taking off. I mean, I thought I'd be able to get out there and do a little work on the gardens before the plants got too big. I missed that. Should have done it yesterday. Anyway, today is all about the card draw, and I have to say that Spirit was very prolific this morning with the cards. And I'm using the Jamie Sams card deck called the Sacred Path cards. Sacred Path cards. I know that's backwards, but at least you can see the book. And these are her cards. I like the color and the God's Eye on the back. It's one of my favorite decks. And I have to say that I have lots of help here today. I love it. Paul is home from work. He's got his day off, and so he's doing some errands that I was going to do, and he said, oh, I can do that. So, like that. And I also have the house cleaners here this morning doing an extra day for me because we have company coming this weekend. And so I don't have to do the cleaning on top of everything else this week, which is nice. I like it. I like it a lot. As we're, I'm trying to get the cards put together here because I tell you, it was a very prolific morning, like I said. There is, whoops. Good morning, Nicole. As I was shuffling, because every morning I do a card draw. I have been doing this for quite a long time, and I was sharing the information on Instagram, and I still do that. And then I added this live stream on for those. I thought maybe you guys would find it interesting anyway. And this morning, as every morning, my intention is asking my spiritual team to show me what the most important energy information for me to know today and that I can share with others through Instagram and now Facebook. And as I'm shuffling, literally I had 5 cards almost in sequence flying out of the deck. And I'm thinking, 5 cards, that's a lot. That's a lot of information. And so I had to check to see, because sometimes a card may be for me personally. My spiritual team trying to give me a personal piece of information rather than one that's being shared, right? But this morning it turned out that yes, all the cards that were selected by Spirit were meant to be shared. Good morning, Mary Anderson Fry. It's always good to see your name in the chat room. And so there are 5 cards. And I had to sit with this for quite a while because I didn't understand why so much, right? And so here are the 3 that jumped out right away. This is called the medicine bowl, and it's about healing. Okay, and if you take a look at the photo, you can see that the medicine bowl is wooden. Because most people would think that it would be ceramic, right? But in the picture, this is wooden, and I'll tell you why in a second. And the next one that came out was Shawl, and I know you can see those backwards, but it's the Shawl, and this is about returning home. And if you look at it, it's got a rainbow in the middle of the waterfall coming down a mountain, and it is fringed with eagle feathers. Gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous. about coming home. And the next one that jumped out was Great Mystery, called The Original Source. And you have to, I just love this picture. Of course, you know Star Nations, right? And it shows the astronomy, the stars in the center there. I like that. And then the other two you're very familiar with because we talked about these yesterday. Yesterday was the giveaway ceremony. And this is about releasing. Remember her, that little girl? The giveaway? Yep. And then it was the council fire. And we talked about this. This is about decisions, right? And I thought, God, you know, we already talked about that. Did I miss something that I wasn't aware of to be able to share? And this is what came. And this is before I even started reading the information on each card, is that the healing bowl, the medicine bowl, it's about healing. And that bowl is made out of wood. And in the old days, the ancestors, this is before the coming of the European, right? Especially east of the Mississippi. There are bowls and utensils were carved from either wood or from bone. And so our bowls were made from wood. And the healers, they use these kind of bowls to mix herbs and, you know, the plant lore, right? The plant lore. And for healing, when they're helping a community member to heal. And many of the nations, their healers are not seers, and yet nothing's tried and true that way, right? Nothing follows, you know, a strict kind of definition. Some healers are actually holy people too, meaning that they travel with spirit in the dark. Those are the ones that will do that shamanic journey kind of stuff. And those kind of holy people, the medicine people in that way, would also use the medicine bowl. Now, what's interesting is that the plainer the medicine bowl, the more, I don't want to say powerful, but the more meaningful. It wasn't decorated. The ceremonial bowls that were brought out in the public, for the public to see, those were very kind of carved and ornate. But much like the drums, when they're personal use or they are not meant to be shared with the public, they're much plainer. And so the healing bowl is us. It's our body, our physical body, you know, and this is the vehicle we chose to experience this earth walk in, right? Okay, so this is the healing, and the one that came out was the shawl, and the shawl is about returning home. And this is what I got, was the more we heal ourselves, the more we learn our life lessons, and we get closer and closer and closer to our original vibrational signature, the way that we came in to the physical walk, the more that we are home in our bodies, our physical bodies that's connected to Grandmother Earth. And then we start remembering our connection to the earth and taking care of her, right? And the eagle feathers along the edge is all about the blessings from the Creator hearing our prayers, and the flow of the water. And the rainbow is really, for me, is about It's including everybody. Everybody. Not just Native people, not just Indigenous people, but everybody. And so that everybody has the opportunity to heal aspects of themselves that gets them closer to their original signature. And the more you heal, the more your original signature, the more you feel at home. And so this is welcoming you home. And it's said in some tribal nations east of the Mississippi that when you put the shawl on, especially when you're a female, the shawl is about protection. It's about being warm, being taken care of. At one point, our ancestors didn't have shawls the way that we have them today. Okay, if anybody has seen my shawls, you know you have those long fringes. We didn't have long fringes on everyday kind of shawls, the things that you wore every day. The fringed ones were really meant about those social parties, right? The social gatherings and looking your best. The shawl is about taking on, metaphorically, taking on the protection and the service to your people. It's about coming home and bringing all of your gifts home to your people and being a part of the community and being in service to that. And then when I see this card, the Great Mystery, Original Source, that's the Creator. That's the Creator. And so when we are closer to our original signature, our connection to the Creator, hearing Spirit, sensing Spirit, because we are living our lives more from our hearts and allowing our soul to lead rather than our egoic mind, right? That humanness of us, we can hear and sense the Creator more easily. It's not that we lose our connection to either the Creator or to Grandmother Earth. Sometimes it's so much like static, not being able to hear them very well. It's like trying to dial them in and tune them in. When we're not grounded, when we're not, when the energy isn't flowing through us as easily when you're in the flow. That it's hard to sense. And that's what happens when you have a shock, when you have something happens in your human life, in your 3D life, and it's shocking. Your emotions tend to be out of balance, and so it's hard to sense or to hear the messages coming through. That's why we have friends. That's why we have family. Who love us and will be able to, when we ask for help, that they can step forward and give us a hand and helping us to understand, to bring in the messages with us. Hey, Jacqueline, thank you for joining us. And so the 5 cards, 5 cards. And the other 2 that we'd already gone over, which is the Council Fire and the Giveaway, we're talking about the decision. And I think that this is about the deciding, making that conscious decision to do what we need to do to heal, whether it's facing our fears, maybe it is about your physical healing. For instance, when I was diagnosed as a diabetic type 2, I can control that through my diet, and it's making that decision. Now, I'm not saying I'm perfect, because I'm not. I had a donut the other day. But it is those decisions. Hi, Cinda Lynn. Thanks for joining us. It's those decisions, right, that can lead to your healing, that leads to the medicine ball. And the giveaway. Now, when I was holding this card early this morning, and I was thinking, okay, so we'd already covered this. What is there else between this card and the other four? And what came to me is that when you're giving something away, whether it is something intangible like those ruminated thought patterns, those worries and anxieties, when you surrender those, right? Surrender the control and trying to control the outcome. That is a type of giveaway. But more importantly, what I heard distinctly is that when we give something to someone, a gift, a giveaway, is to do it with our hearts and without those strings attached. And we can always tell when our ego is involved in that giveaway is because we're either feeling like we need something in return of that giveaway, or we have the need to talk about it. You know, to say, I did this, I gave that person that came from me. When we talk about it, it really is turning the meaning around of that and focusing it on us, the giver. The giver. And so it really isn't from our hearts. It really isn't without strings attached. It's feeding our ego. It's feeding that imbalance, right? And so the suggestion that came to me this morning is that to practice giving without strings attached. Good morning, Cindy Lynn. And it doesn't have to be anything huge. It doesn't even have to mean you have to go out and buy something. It could be something that you already have and that you want to gift it to someone else. And you could be, you know, those secret Santas, you know, something like that. Nobody even has to know that it came from you. You could attach a small note to it or short note to it and send it to them, ship it to them, or just drop, if they're in your area, in your own town, you could just drop it off, gift wrapped, you know, pretty, and leave it for them. And they don't even have to know who it really came from, other than it was meant for them, and it comes with a lot of love. And so in that practicing, we get used to feeling the vibration of the giveaway, which enhances your healing. This drawing this morning is really pretty big. It's very big, because when we're doing our healing work, when we're focused on our own healing, we're actually coming home. We're coming home to our center. I love it. And like I said, it took me a little while. It took me a little while to get to the meaning of it. Now, Jamie Sams, when she writes about the shawl, I want to get to that. It was kind of interesting because I really don't know a lot about the Seneca, but she did write about the Seneca, and it was interesting to read that, the Seneca, the shawl. I'm just trying to get there. Here we go. The shawl. The poem for the shawl is really kind of nice. It says, Mother Earth welcomes her children home when they have lost their way. The trail was lonely and long. She whispers for them to stay. Within the protection of the shawl, where love abides again, their hearts may open to recall all relations as their friends. So when you look at the card and you see nature there, that it reminds us, helps us to remember that we humans are a part of nature, that we're not separate from it. We're not separate from it. And what's interesting is that she actually mentions the Paiute nation too. She says that in the Paiute teaching, she says that the shawl was a symbol of coming home to the arms of Earth Mother and being wrapped in her nurturing love. To accomplish the taking of the shawl, one would have to return to the traditional teaching of their tribe and ask permission to live among the people who honored the ways of the ancestor. Now, metaphorically speaking, when we take on the shawl, when we put the shawl back on and we return home, it doesn't matter, I don't think, it doesn't matter what tribe you're from. What matters is that you are accepting the gift of being home to yourself, home to your center, so that your expression of your gifts helps others. Your expression of your gifts are in service to your community, no matter where that community is or who the community is that you're there to serve. And in the service, that's actually related to the giveaway. Because there's aspects of your service that is meant to be no strings attached. No strings attached. Now, I'm not saying that your gifts that you should be giving them away without an equal return. Okay, so if you have a healing service and you're charging your clients, yes, you should do that. But it's in the information, it's in the content that what you're sharing. That could be part of the ancient teachings, right? That's not what you're charging for. What you're charging for is your personal time that you're spending with that person as a client. Now, there's other times, and I'm sure that when you're a healer of one kind or another, you have already done this, and that is that you've helped somebody without expecting anything in return, no payment. A friend calls and they're upset about something, and so you're gonna be on the phone listening to them, listening to the story, and just in the fact that you're willing to take time to listen to them, that is the giveaway. Does that make sense? I hope so. And so the shawl is about the application of the card. It says, if the shawl has fallen across your shoulders, you are being invited to return home. If you've forgotten yourself recently, it's now the time to remember your essence and your potential. If you have walked a crooked trail by falsely judging others, it is now time to come home to the loving heart and see the value in all paths and chosen lessons. You may be coming home to the magic that you once believed in, or to a new sense of well-being. But in every case, you're returning to a temporarily forgotten state of being. In every life, there is a need to return to the simplicity of happiness. If you've forgotten how to find the simple truths that once supported your inner joy, it's time to return home. Wearing the shawl is coming home to the arms of Earth Mother and being loved. The responsibility of taking the shawl is being loving to others who have forgotten the sacred path or their way home, right? And so that's how it's related to the giveaway. That's what I think. All right, the shawl. And it's a pretty picture. It really is. Now, let's go over to the medicine bowl. And the medicine bowl, the poem is Medicine Bowl of Healing Cures, of Visions, Dreams, and What Endures. Beyond the void of time and space, you bring the healing to every race. For seers and healers, the water you hold brings ancient wisdom now retold. For seekers and for those in need, your healing and uniqueness brings reprieve. I like that. I really do. Healing. And it's meant for everybody. Everybody. There was a piece in here that I wanted, and she's talking about the Seneca tradition. It says, in our Seneca tradition, it's never announced which of the members of the nation are the medicine people. A true medicine person never says, I am a medicine woman or man. Others may say it of a person, but it is forbidden to say it of yourself. The tests of initiation include long years of study and practice. So, that is, I have to agree, it's just not Seneca, is that many of the healers and medicine people you'll never hear them call themselves that. Other people may use those titles for them, but the person themselves will hardly ever even talk about their ability. Somebody will come to them because it's been told, it's been shared. Oh, if you need help with such and such, make sure you go and see whoever that person is, And so people start coming to them, but it's not because they say it's in a neon light pointing at them. That's a medicine person calling themselves that, right? And so in the old traditions, in our ancestry, a lot of times the most person with the knowledge for healing, or the knowledge that you're looking for, may be the person doing dishes, maybe the person who's mopping the floor, or going out and collecting firewood. What is that old saint saying? Cutting wood, carrying water. Yeah. So in the old days, right? In the old days. And I think it kind of holds true to even today. And it does take quite a while for a person who is learning how to apply their gifts in service to others. It takes time. It takes time of our earth walk to learn about the gifts, maybe even to pick them up and embrace them. It takes us some time to do that. And then once we do that, it takes time to learn about them and to master them. And then the expression of them, right? In whatever way that has been chosen to express them. Sometimes it's just right in your everyday life is the expression of them. And it's nothing, you're not taking out an ad for it. It's just a part of your everyday life. And so Jamie Sams says about the Medicine Bowl application card. If you chose the Medicine Bowl card today, healing is on the horizon. This can be a spiritual, mental, emotional, or physical healing. Pay attention to the events in your life and acknowledge with gratitude the healings that manifest themselves. The steps toward wholeness are often marked with some small healing releases and can often be overlooked. Become aware of the shifts in attitude or a new sense of well-being, and you will understand the healing as it manifests. In this way, you are assisting your future beyond the void to heal you in the present. In all cases, the medicine bowl speaks of good medicine. It is being offered. Your present task is to find it and use it to heal yourself, the self, or to assist another. The medicine ball. So, what does this mean for us today, right? I think it means is looking at what aspects of yourself that needs healing, or that you're in the process of healing. And when you do the healing and you put your whole self into it, right? That whatever life lesson is around that is a part of your wisdom. And so when you have completed that healing, you're on the other side of it, that you're able to take your wisdom that you learned from that and take it to your community, which has to do with the shawl. I love it. I do. The way that Spirit brings together the information, right? And how we can look at it and apply it to our life. Now, I'm going to move on to the Great Mystery card and let you know what Jamie Sams says about the Great Mystery. The poem is original source of creation, the void of all that is. Thank you for the breath of life. Thank you for my gifts. Eternal mystery, touch my heart. In beauty may I walk. Sacred mystery, be my guide, so I may walk my talk. Infinite source, remain with me, so I may always know the warmth of your internal flame deep within my soul. The mystery. The creator. In the Ho-Chunk language, it's Mauna, earthmaker, creator of all things. Right? In Potawatomi, it's Kachimanado, and that means the great mystery, the creator. And, you know, Jamie Sams, she writes quite a bit about what the great mystery means, especially to the Seneca. And the card application. Oh, wait, here, let me add this. This is one thing that I really like that she wrote. She says, all creations are a part of the great mystery's whole. Just as every cell in the human body has a different function, and yet together those cells make up a carbon combustion unit that houses a spirit with a unique identity. All human ideas are birthed from the spirit inside the human body, are fed to the brain, then acted upon through the will of the total being. All ideas in creation come from the great mystery, are gathered by great spirit, and then are used to feed the rest of creation. To limit the power of creation in ourselves or other humans or other human concept, if we acknowledge the limitlessness of the great mystery, we must acknowledge that this life force is also part of our makeup because we are created by the same original source. So that means, you know, that we have that inside us already. It's not something that we have to go out and purchase. It's not something that we have to go out and find. It's already there. Joshua, he says, I don't know anyone aside from me and one friend of mine use those cards. I've been using those and animal cards since 1992. Right. Now, I have to say that Jamie Sams cards and we go back to probably the early 2000s since I found her cards. And I also use the medicine deck too, which are the companion cards to the Sacred Path cards. I like them. I do. So the application. The Great Mystery card tells us the original source is the creator of all life and that we are created in its likeness. We are free-willed co-creators who become the source of all we choose to experience in life. In other words, the buck stops here. We are totally responsible for our joys and also our pain. In receiving this card, you are being reminded to give gratitude for all of your life lessons. It changes pain to gain. Focus on your creative capacity and you can change anything. It may be time to drop any blame, shame, or regret and take charge of your life. The victim role doesn't suit two-leggeds. We are created in the image of the infinite creator and therefore limitless co-creators. In all cases, the great mystery will continue to confound and astound us every time we try to figure it all out. Stop your mind's chatter and listen to the source. Original source shows us that the mystery lives within us and contains all the answers we need to find along the sacred path. It says the great mystery is a divine plan and everything is on schedule. In other words, divine timing. Everything is in divine timing. So that's today's card read. All of these. That was a big message they were trying to get across to us. So we have the great mystery, the shawl, the medicine bowl, the decisions by the council fire, and the giveaway. How do you like those cards? Well, that is a lot to digest, a lot to gestate on. You know, I don't want to say think about, but to feel about it. And it really does start with the decision. It starts with that which is the council fire. It does start with the giveaway, and to be able to. Well, no, Joshua. You know what I do every morning, and I just changed out the decks to use the Sacred Path decks this month. Is every morning I pull a card just to be able to. This is the intention: is please show me what energy is important for me to know today, and what I could share with others. And I do this for Star Nations, and Star Nations organization. And I was sharing it with Instagram, and then decided that maybe others would be interested in the process and the information, how I sit with it, you know, and sharing that. And I still share it with Instagram. It's just much shorter. I only take maybe, you know, a sentence or two about the general meaning of the card. But this morning, there were 5 cards that jumped out. Literally, and so usually it's only 1 card, and I share that. But this morning it was 5. So no, it wasn't an actual spread. I didn't do an actual spread. I know that's possible. I just don't do it that way. So I'm hoping that some of the information that was shared meant something to you, that you can discern that for yourself. And that you have the ability to make some decisions in that co-creation. And I hope, you know what my hope is? My hope is that we put the shawl on, that we are welcomed home to our center, and that we can express our gifts in service back to the community, and to be able to have a clearer connection to the Creator, to that great void. So, with that, you guys enjoy the rest of your day, this beautiful Tuesday, and we'll see you again tomorrow morning for whatever card's drawn for tomorrow, okay? And I'm going to try to do this at 10 o'clock. This is something brand new. And so I was just trying to make sure I could fit it into the morning rather than doing it in the afternoon, because that way you have the information for the day, not just in your mind, but also in your heart. And so I'll see you around 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. That's 10 o'clock Central Time, okay? All right. Have a good day. Bama Mina, until we see each other again.